He was still holding her wrist, but he didn't let go, just stepped in right beside her. She was tall and slender, with perfect curves, about 5 inches shorter than him. "Pull it together, Owen." Her eyes were blue, vivid, and flashing with hellfire. And then there were those lips. "Take your hands off me," she said, enunciating each word carefully through gritted teeth so there was no chance he'd misunderstand. Water was still spraying out, soaking his shirt now too, and what did he do but put his other hand on the wrench to pry it from her? He tossed it onto the floor in the water, then somehow maneuvered her back and reached up to shut off the water. The spray stopped, and the water slowly drizzled and then dripped. "It was one hand, Tessa," he said. "Now that I'm here, you can let a professional fix this before you break something and turn what'll likely be a simple fix into something far more costly and time-consuming." She didn't pull those magnificent blue eyes from him. She could tell him to fuck off with just a look, and he could see she was likely thinking of a way to tell him how she could, and would, do things better than he would. "I was trying to turn the water off and almost had it, Owen." He knew she hated him. At the same time, everything about her brought up unsettling and frustrating feelings inside him. He took in the counter, seeing the gray duct tape, and reached for it and lifted it. Rebmay had evidently realized she was in the middle of something personal and had quietly slipped out. "You planning on doing something with this?" Owen said, tossing the duct tape back on the wet counter and setting his tool case beside one of the sinks. He took a better look at the busted pipe, wondering what had caused this. He doubted this was a prank. More than likely, from the looks of it, the pipe was just old and had been about to give for some time. "I was planning on fixing the pipe," she snapped. "I was going to turn the water off and then duct tape it until it could be fixed. You know, I'm not completely useless, Owen. I have 2 hands and the ability to problem solve, which is exactly what I was doing. Then here you are showing up and thinking I'm out of my depth. I'll have you know I had a handle on the situation, and—" "Are you finished?" He cut her off, facing her. She was standing there, holding her ground. The woman was infuriating, and he quickly remembered how she never had gone quietly into the night. No, scratch that. She had never sat back and counted on him for anything. As if she had realized how indecent her shirt was, she simply crossed her arms under those amazing breasts and gave him everything. Confidence. "Two can play at this game." "Evidently," she said, then gestured to the tools in the sink. "I'll leave you to this, then." He had expected something else from her. No, he had wanted something else. Her walking away that easily should have been a relief, but there was something about her attitude that he craved. What was it about Tessa? He had anticipated fighting with her, sparring with her, because their arguments had been on another level. No other woman could compete. "So how did this happen?" he added, taking in her confusion as she stepped back. "Rebmay said it was a school prank, seniors, but these pipes are old, no longer up to code. Corrosion and wear is what this looks like." He took in the pipes intently only because he was finding it damn difficult to keep his gaze from her. When he reached up for the red shutoff lever, he felt how corroded that was as well. "I have no idea," she said. "I was in my classroom finishing up for the day and was just about ready to pack it up and leave when something caught my eye. I stepped out of my classroom to investigate and saw water everywhere. I followed it to the bathroom here and found all this." As she gestured, someone screamed. In the second that followed, Tessa gave him everything before darting out the door ahead of him. Around the corner, he spotted Rebmay standing outside a room labeled janitor, staring down at something in shock. As he stepped behind both women and took in the closet, he realized what the problem was. He was staring at the body of a young man, curled up, unmoving. On pure instinct, he moved both Rebmay and Tessa aside and crouched down, seeing the lifeless eyes of what looked like a student. He reached in and checked for a pulse, but just looking at him, he already knew he was dead.